What is up, everybody? Jaco here today, and today I'm making another video because people have questions and I have answers. So people want to know, what am I going to tell my daughter one day when she finds out about my work? Okay. First of all, number one, the time my daughter has any sense of my work or will find out about my work, I will no longer be doing my work. Then you might bring up the question of, well, what if she stumbles upon your content online or somebody says your father used to do this? Number one, she's not going to stumble upon my content online because my content is catered towards gay gentlemen. You're not going to find it on straight pages. And why would she be looking for that in the first place? And if somebody shows something to her, you know, that's just realistically weird. If another child shows a child and says, I saw a video of your dad naked, first of all, as a child, are you going to believe that other child? I'm not saying it's wrong or a lie. I'm not saying it's a lie, but would you actually believe another child? And if my child came back to me and said, you know, Dad, this boy in school says he saw you online on a site naked and when you were younger and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. So that being said, I would say to her, I said, look, what that person is referring to is not true. And then when she's older, if this ever occurred again where I feel that it's appropriate to tell her, I will explain to her, like, look, this is the life I led and the choices I made because of the circumstances and cards that I was dealt. This would be my explanation to her, because she's not going to have the life that I had growing up. She's not going to be confused about what she wants to do. She's not going to have a parent who isn't willing to supply or help educate that child and pursue their dreams / career, or go to college or go to school. So my life is not her life. What I do doesn't define who she is. She's her own person. And same with my future other children as well. We always want our children to be better than ourselves, and our children tend to want to be better than us, right? Oh, he would go in front of me. So when people ask these questions, it's kind of, to me, a little ludicrous, because I just can't fathom why somebody would be concerned about what my child thinks of me because of my work in my field. I want to make it clear that yes, my work, I guess, is still considered taboo, but more people and celebrities and icons and people that people look up to do this, right? I don't know the extent of what they do. I don't know exactly. So this guy raced all the way, and now he's stuck at the same light that I'm stuck at. That's hilarious. But I don't know exactly what they do, but think about it. OnlyFans started in the end of 2016, let's just say. It's about there. It might have been 2017. I think it's 2016. It blew up in 2020 in the pandemic, started putting in rap songs, and then celebrities started doing it. What do you think is going to be like in the next 10 years? There's going to be more people doing it than ever before. So it's going to be considered less taboo. And on top of that, it's a job. It's an occupation. Is it an occupation that people should be proud of? No, it's not, because that's, but that's also being judgmental. Like, who are you to tell people what's a good job and what's a bad job? Because at the end of the day, let's just say, oh, I work for a hedge fund company and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, blah. What if your CEO's an adulterer? What if your CEO has criminal charges against him and has a lab in his basement where he brings in children and seduces them? Like, you don't know. So you might not be the problem, but you may be working for the problem. You may be working for a really bad, evil individual. So just think about that when you're judging other people on their occupation and what they do. I don't hurt anybody with my occupation. I don't do anything illegal with my occupation. I provide an entertainment for my occupation. So it's almost like, well, okay, so let's say a woman worked for Playboy magazine and she shows off her entire body nude. What's the difference between that and my work? Oh, well, there's penetration, there's this and this. you're complexing the severity of what's going on in these videos. And realistically, it is what it is. Just because you're recording it versus keeping it hidden, or doing it on your own time and not recording it, it's whatever. It's really whatever. But then again, I'm not justifying this work. I'm not saying that, hey, everybody should do this work, it's good for you, blah 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 blah. No. If I were to give advice to an 18-year-old me, is I would say, realize this. Number one, this isn't going to last forever. Number two, if you don't plan on doing content and exploring your options even more than you already have, this probably won't last as long as you thought it would. Because my goal was to work till 40 and then retire. And that was based off of what I was making in 2020, 2021, 2022. But when I realized in 2023 and 2024 about the income shortage, I said to myself, like, look, I would be doing this the rest of my life, and I can't obviously do this the rest of my life because I had plans to do it until I was 40. That was the goal. So it's either I take a step in this other direction, that having a family and having a partner can't allow me to be that person that my fans want me to be. So yeah, I just want to make this video, quickly and answer this question about, my daughter. And my daughter has a bright future ahead of her. Not only is she very intelligent and going to be very intelligent in the future, but she has a father who's endured a lot and been through a lot, that can explain to her the trials and tribulations and make the right choices in life. You don't know how many mistakes that I made, that I learned from my mistakes and won't make those same mistakes again. That is the information that I can relay to my child. And now it's up to me for my child to sponge in that information so she doesn't make the same mistakes that I did. Realistically, I want my child to stay at home while she's in college. Realistically, I want my child to start some type of business while she's at home, or work where 100% of her work earnings is turned into savings. So let's just say she starts working at 14 years old at Publix. Let's just say she works until she's graduated college. And let's just say she graduates college at 22 with a bachelor's degree. And then she has not a bachelor's degree. It's not student aid. It starts with a B, I think. God, my mind's going blank. Like the honors, whatever. When they pay for college, my God, it's. I'm gonna think of it right after this video and be like, wow, I'm so dumb. But yeah. So they pay for college. It's not FAFSA. So they pay for college. So she's gonna have maybe, we're talking about 6, 7, 8 years of savings. If she makes at least $15,000 by that time she's that age, minimum wage is gonna be $20 an hour. So she's gonna have like $140,000 saved up. And I don't mind paying for her things while she's at home, or her necessary things when she's at home. And then she has savings. So then she can decide. And then when she's 24, she can meet somebody that she likes and cares about, and they realize, like, hey, let's get a place together. But meeting this person and knowing this person for a year while still staying at home. So let's say she met a man in college and they're both studying, and he's studying to be a PhD or a doctorate and become a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. And she wants to own a business. And then she has the savings, he has the savings. They decide to get married and they get a house together. So these are the plans I have for my daughter. And obviously, whatever man that comes into her life, I want him to be better than I am. I want him to be more educated than I am. I want him to be more successful and intelligent than I am. And I want to be his friend as well. And I want to be able to communicate with him like, hey, look, I'm on my daughter's side, but I'll also be on your side. I will listen to you. So if you have a problem with my daughter, like, obviously it's great to communicate, but if she's lacking communication, talk to me about it. talk to me about it. And you might say, well, why would you get your father involved? Because I will have that bond and relationship with my daughter that I can sit down and communicate with her and say, hey, look, you have to understand from this perspective, whether it's a male perspective or whatever, because the biggest issue in life with relationships is communication. So I know this went way off topic, but hopefully this answered the questions that you were looking for. And I hope that you guys all have a blessed day. Take care.